welcome to another episode of Diary of a Wannabe Comedian with me, Belle, a wannabe comedian. I'm a bit tired today and I'll tell you why in a minute, but not before I've told you about a wonderful movie that I saw on Friday, I think. I went to see Young Woman and the Sea. Oh my word, it's one of those that made me so emotional. I was just having a very emotional day and there were tears rolling down my cheek and they were tears of joy. It wasn't, it wasn't sad, but it was just got me. It's just really, as a movie, got me. And I think it's the fact that there's just so many wonderful women out there, and men, as well. But in this case, so many wonderful women out there that just never take no for an answer. And they just set the way and change the direction and the course of history for women in general. So there was that point, and I just find that amazing because I think, what have I done? What have I done? What have I achieved? Struggling at this point, but I hope to make a difference in life at some point in my existence. We'll keep trying. But that was last Friday, and then yesterday, not a lot happened Saturday. Yesterday I went to see the animation course that I'm doing at City Lit, which comes to an end next week, actually. Quite sad. It's almost finished. But one of the teachers made an animation movie called Jolly Girl or Jolly Girls. And it was shown at the Brockley Nights, which is some kind of film festival. It's on every year. This year it was in Brockley Brewery. I can't say that word. Brewery. Place where you have beer. It was in one of those. And it was a great night. It started at sort of 6 and it was kind of done by 8:30, so it wasn't a long one by any means, but it was most enjoyable. And you see these little movies, and there was one I really liked. I've got the list here, hang on, let me see if I can find it. I can't remember which one it was, but it was really funny. It had a real punchline where I shouldn't really say it because it's his movie, but yeah, if you get a chance, I think it's this one. I think it's Up to Here. Highly recommend checking that out if you can find it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that one. But that one made me chuckle, as did Jolly Girls. In fact, that was interesting seeing everybody laughing at the same time because obviously I've seen it before and in a different environment. It was kind of in a classroom environment. This was far more relaxed. People had beer and they were laughing away at the jokes, which is good. That's what you want really when you tell jokes. So that was yesterday. And then today, the reason I'm tired is I've done day 1. So heaven knows what I'm going to be like on Thursday. But I've done day 1 of a 5-day introduction to animation where you actually start meeting people in the industry. So it was a fascinating day. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This morning, we just did a bit of networking, really, and I was speaking to some really interesting people, including a BAFTA nominated writer, although she was very shy about it and was just, oh, no, don't. But she's obviously pleased with herself, and so she should be. It was in direct contrast to the first speaker in the afternoon, who was also a BAFTA nominee, and put that on the first page of their slides. So, it's like, that's what you need to do. You need to pick yourself up. But the guy in the afternoon was an animation consultant. So I was trying to pin down really what he does. Consults, obviously, I've come across a lot of consultants in my life. And he was very interesting for numbers, because he helped people find funding. Because quite often, for example, we have the BBC here and the BBC might say, yeah, do your project, here's 15% of the money. And then you've got to go and find the other 85% from somewhere else. So he kind of helps organisations find money and keeps an eye on the industry and what's going on. And he's saying how the industry is growing. I do think animation, I had always thought animation is one of the few growth areas. Be interesting to see what AI does to that. But at the moment, it's still a growth area. And here is a fascinating fact for you. I wrote it down. Peppa Pig has generated worldwide in merchandising 1.5 billion each year for 15 years. 1.5 billion. I mean, that thing's not even drawn properly. I don't know. Well, I'd sit here and try and describe it for my listeners that are not from the UK, but it's all over the world. So I'm pretty sure you know what Peppa Pig is, and you can Google it in a second and see, but it's not even drawn that well. 1.5 billion. I'm in the wrong job. I should probably say he doesn't just consult. He's actually a producer as well, I believe. And he worked on Baker Grove. I shouldn't do the accent, should I? That's terrible. That's bordering on racist. But no, he did the show where we got Ant and Dec. Now, depending on your view, you may thank him. The only other point of note is I've just come off a meeting with Equity, a committee meeting. That was all good. Not sure if I'm official. I still don't know whether it's my new position as variety officer or rep or whatever it is. I'm not sure whether it's gone through officially, but I'm in the mindset that I'm out there being an activist. I'd never thought of myself as an activist, but hey, we can surprise ourselves sometimes. Much love and gratitude.